Okay, YouTubers, here's the deal, okay? I use YouTube as a counseling service. Okay, it's a really, really good way to get your counseling out, get all your problems out. Like, it's really, really good for that, okay? I don't really have a counselor right now, and I need one really, really bad. Someone that would listen to all my problems, somebody that will listen to me and stuff. I'm not trying to have static with anybody, but static comes my way, I deal with the static, okay? Long before it ever gets to me, okay? I'm just saying that. Do I have 20,000 confirmed kills under my belt as military? Yes, I do, okay? And I'm not bluffing. Two Twin Towers and 18,000 kills right there. Gunman in Vegas, 1,000 people shot up right there. And then a fucking 1,000 people in Jungle District, Seattle, minimum, bit and killed by deadly snakes. Okay, so that's first and foremost. Okay, so I got a lot of issues that I'm dealing with. Because it came second third party that did all this stuff. And I just said, I wish America hell. And next thing I know, Twin Towers are going down. I wish America hell. And next thing I know, gunmen going in there and shooting up 1,000 people. I wish America's dead. And they fucking went up to Seattle and dumped a bunch of deadly snakes in Seattle. And a Black Panther. Um, so I got all this stuff weighing on my mind. And I got people coming at me sideways. And this is not meant for this, folks. You know, you guys gotta have a heart. You guys gotta open up a door somewhere for me to sell my products to. Look at this. Okay, this is an authentic booster pack. Okay, I came up with this stuff myself. Okay, you get 15 cards in every one. Okay, and it's a unique fucking concept. Okay, you don't know what's in here. You don't know what it is. It's my own special foiling. Okay, and that's the secret. What kind of foiling I'm using. Mm. But I want to start making some money and make something of myself. I need the doors open so that I can do so. You know, the more doors that are open for me, the less I'm going on YouTube and this and that, because I'm constantly working. Okay, so less problems everybody's having, less problems I'm having. Everybody's happy, everybody's getting product, everybody's making money off my product, and I'm making money. That's all I care about. Everybody's happiness. Okay? So I kid you not. Okay? You get in a box from me, and they come, this set, and only this set, comes, and they deliver these to you, okay? You get 18 of these full-size sheets, okay? Where you can keep them together or cut them down. They will be wrapped in that special foiling. You get them randomly. So you're not always going to get a chase card. You'll get a few chase cards, but you're not getting, you may not always get a fucking $50 card. You may get a $10 card and, a few $5 cards and, but nevertheless, you're getting 180 cards. The minimum value of the card is like 50 cents or a dollar, up to like $50. There's a chance you could pull three $50 cards. Right there's $150 and full extended art cards. Okay, courtesy of me. Okay, the packs are all random. Full size sheet of that is called the pack. They're all random. Okay, and it's all folded up in one tinfoil. So you undo the tinfoil or the specialized foil. Sorry, it's not tinfoil; it's specialized foil. When you undo it, you open it up. You look at what you got, and if you want to play, cut it out yourself. And this way, you can make sure that the corners are perfect. You can make sure if you want to use a corner rounder, bam, 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 and you hit the four corners. Okay? If you want to keep it all as a sheet, boom, you got a collector sheet. If you want to cut them down and keep them square corners, you can. I'm pretty lenient on that type of stuff. The only thing I'm asking is that you don't reproduce or remanufacture. Which is a fair request. And we all get paid. Like, you become the artist. So now all of a sudden you're drawing out artwork on everybody else's cards, and you're making, between $5 and $15 on each card that you're drawing for them. Now that one box that you paid like $150 for in a full sheet, now all of a sudden it's got all this artwork, and it's still a full sheet, and it's selling for $200 a sheet. And you got, 18 of them? So you just made like $3,600, and it only costs you $150 to produce it. Okay, cut out the individual cards, do really unique artwork, use some glitter pins or whatever you're gonna use, authentic gold and silver to draw out the picture, and then we're talking like $40-$50 on a dollar card. And it's up to you. You're the artist, you're the player. You decide what the artwork looks like. No nudity on the cards, no lewd conduct. Remember, this is a Catholic Christian game. This is not a game to be designing nudity on artwork. This is not a game to be depicting murder. This is not a game depicting lust, violence. No, it's not like that. So if you draw the card, draw it with decent pictures. This is all rights reserved. If you're going to do the artwork, I don't want to hear or see any filth in the artwork. Okay, keep it clean. Kids play this shit. Okay, keep it fucking clean for the kids. Okay. I don't care if it's your personal collection and you draw one bit of nudity, I find out about it, I'll fucking blacklist you from being able to buy products from me. Because I keep things reputable like that. When there's kids involved playing games like this, there is no bad shit on the cards. Don't scare the kids with the artwork either. Like, don't draw the demon with fucking 666 in his forehead. No. Draw an angel that's got a couple little horns. Draw a holy angel, and then draw a couple little tiny horns on the head. It was demon of notorious hindrance. Okay? Something like that. But don't be making it look all tail and make it look all scary and shit, and fucking, yeah, I can also use this devil-looking one for $5. No, none of that. And if you're gonna charge a kid, you're gonna keep it reasonable. Like a card, if a kid comes up to you and they want a card, and you're normally charging $5, charge them like $2. They don't get a lot of money. Like, let them have some fun. Give them a hobby. Give them something where they play and they draw and they play with their friends, and age bracket it. 18 and up, play together, and 17 and under, play together. Okay, let's keep this thing holy, pure, sanctified, and clean, like it was designed to be. Okay, I was the first one to come out with the game AD Wars. Numerous people copyright infringed on my game. There's a board game out called AD Wars. There's a Steam game called out AD Wars. Okay, it was created after my copyright was in effect. So I got a lawsuit against Steam. I got a lawsuit against a lot of people. Okay, and we're talking in the trillions when it gets said and done. Because of emotional distress, pain and suffering, wrongful arrest, all that crap. Wrongful eviction, all that crap. So I got massive freaking lawsuits. I got at least 30 lawsuits, and 31 if you want to involve police departments. Based on wrongful arrest, perjury, collusion, lying on the stand to a judge, false arrest, the list goes on and on. And attempted murder, because they tried putting a bullet in my brain. There's a criminal charge and a lawsuit, big, against police department. That lawsuit probably minimum of $1 billion for all the pain that I endured through that bullet. It still causes permanent memory loss. Okay, so I deal with a lot of disabilities. So when I go on YouTube and I start talking and stuff, please don't pay no mind to like the threats and stuff. Like, all I'm looking for is you to leave me alone and me to leave you alone. Like, let's work together as a team. Like, hey, I think you should word this way instead of, and I'll follow the advice. I'm not picky. I'm not that sketchy about it. Like one person said, you should record something other than a bunch of filth, language and a bunch of how you're going to kill people. And I'm taking that advice. So I'm recording a new YouTube video on my game. Like, that's what this video is all about. Okay. So the game is very simple. It's got simple mechanics. It's you got two types of cards. You got cards that can be played on your turn, and you got cards that can be played on your opponent's turn. And it's really simple. If you're playing a Holy Alliance, characters and riddles on your turn, and turn events at any time. If you're playing in a Holy deck, sins at any time can be played, and characters and riddles can be played only on your turn. Okay, 4 card types: sin, turn event, riddle, character. Those are the only 4 character types. I mean, those are the only 4 card types. And they're color coded and stuff. And the game's in color. It's not even in black and white. It's in the full color. Okay, so you're getting some really cool stuff. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you some cards. Okay, I'm gonna pull out some of the Chase money rares, and I'm gonna explain how much these cards will go for. Okay, this is about $35 minimum because it's my own unique artwork. No other artwork has this. I've looked and looked and looked. There's no 2 dragons making a heart. Okay, so that's $35 minimum. Okay, and I might be underballing it, folks. I don't know. Faith in God, there's a $15 card because it restores everything. It resets the entire game. You're getting low on cards in your deck and you need a instant, like, I need to do this right now. Boom, Faith in God, and it reshuffles everything back into the book of life. It's like what God does in the Holy Bible. Okay? He restores things back to sanity. From all chaotic back to sanity. So you got to follow religious theory on this. The game is played where you and your opponent have a Bible of your religion, your belief, because it's Christian and mythology, which means Wiccan Bibles will come into play, and you got to debate it back and forth. My Bible says this. Well, my Bible says this. Well, where are you back in your Bible? Okay, here's where my Bible is back, the Wiccan Bible. Okay, and harm none, do what you will. So you can't burn my character because you're doing harm doing that. And you can out riddle them with, like, they got a little succubus and name no enforcement. They go to burn your character, and you got a Wiccan Bible right there. Bake. Oh, it says right here, and harm none, do what you will, and harm not of yourself, do what you will. So it prevents them from burning it, because one Bible outweighs the other. Then they come back to, you shall not suffer a female sorceress to live. So if that's evil, it goes to burn pile. Ah, damn it, you got me. Okay, that type of game. Okay, let me do another card. Okay, if at any point in your land, characters in your land have no corruption markers, you solve this riddle. 3 of these right there, and you drop a character, you win. Okay, and it's dropped on turn 3. Okay, and you can drop one on turn 3, turn 5, turn 7, and you win by, like, turn 7. This card right here is a $5 card. Okay, so we got a $15 and we got a 5. 3 cards sold out to be over 60 bucks. Okay, and there's 90 cards in the set. Okay, it's got Omega cards, because this is a collector's edition. This is what the Omega cards look like. Okay, the Omega cards are solid color. They're solid color, like this one is gold from gas. It's a character and it costs 5 and it produces 5. I mean, it costs 2 and it produces 2. So you got that. That's like $1. Okay. What else you got? In here, you got Faith in God. You got Eve Adam's wife. Okay, and when she's put into the land, in other words, when you play her, you dig through your book of life for any turn of event card, and you put that card in your hand. You don't even have to reveal it. The game is based on honesty. It's a turn of event that you don't have to reveal. It's a freaking demonic tutor, if you relate it to Magic Gathering. This thing is worth like 20 bucks. Okay, so 4 cards right there. We got about got minus the $1 rare. We got probably about 70-80 bucks in 5 cards, basically. And the price goes up. And Devil's Minister, when he's burnt, he costs us 3, so he can be dropped turn 1. When he's put into the burn pile, you leak every character that's a demon or god out of your deck and drop it right into the land. Okay, that's like a $15, $20 card. Entity of the Dead, another $5-6 card. When it's put into the land, burn all opponent's characters in their land, present all characters from all burn piles into your land. It costs 7, so it can be played turn 3 minimum, but it adds corruption total 21. So you're going to lose it the very next turn. So this is an auto win card. That's why it's only worth $5, because it produces 21 to the barter trade, the quote-unquote combat. Okay, Curse Humanity, here's a $10 card. Played on turn 1, you discard 3 of your 4 cards, and then you burn 3 cards off the top of your Book of Life and throw them in the discard pile. And the discard pile is called the burn pile. So that's worth 10. Okay, so we got $100 right there. Boom. Okay, minimum. Okay, let me see some other. Um, yeah, Demons of the Notorious Hindrance. Another $5 card. Present this card before the game starts if you don't first. This card may only be presented before the game, so you can't do it any other time other than the beginning of the game. But if you can find a way to sneak it into play, this is the effect that you get. Whenever you present a character, your opponent burns a card from either their hand or one of their characters in play. Or it can burn a riddle. It can burn a turn. It could burn a riddle. It can burn a character. It can burn a card out of the hand the opponent chooses. It's a $10 card. So right there, $110. Okay, so you've already made your money back. Okay, consult with God. Leak the top 10 cards of your book of life. In other words, look at the top 10 cards of your opponent's deck. Okay, put them back on top of that player's deck in any order in which you choose. So it's basically a stacking order card, and you're only allowed to draw 2 cards a turn. So it alters the next 5 turns, basically. So it's a win card. So it's like $7.5. Right there, we got like $120. Let me see what else. And the thoughts. Banish the top card of your book of life. It's its character. Put that character into your land. Okay, that's like $1 or $2. I'm trying to look for the good stuff. Yeah, there's Lilith of the Succubus. I believe she costs like something like 7 or 8, and when she comes into play, whenever a character comes into play, they burn the top card, so they take the top card of the Book of Life and they put it in their discard pile. With an infinite combo, you can loop their deck from 50 cards down to 0 cards. And then they're like, crud, I gotta have a faith in God to be able to restore it back to sanity. Now you understand why faith in God is like a $20, $25 card, $15 card, whatever the case may be. Okay? And when you're collecting this stuff, you got the currency value on how much the cards are worth. That's why the double boxes are only $150 and you get 180 cards. Because as you can tell right here, okay, we got the money rare, which is 35. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 cards. There was 11, but I didn't count the ghouls from Gas, the Omega. I only counted the collector's edition. Okay, so right there we got about $120 just in these cards right here. Okay, and the cards are all static like that. So I'm actually giving you out of box about $500 just not to copyright infringe my idea. Okay? And if you do copyright infringement, I got an attorney on it and you will lose everything, including your home. Because that type of play, I don't play with that kind of play. Okay? I don't like thieves. I don't tolerate thieves. Like, thieves are the worst people in the entire world. Okay? So if you're doing this, use Christian beliefs and values, and the whole, acquiring cards, and really do it according to what the Holy Bible says. The Holy Bible does not want you to lie, steal, or cheat. Reproducing my game is called cheating. Along with your cards that you get, I'm also going to email you the synopsis on how to play the game. Now, if I'm booming and I'm making $10,000 a week, or $5,000, or $1,000, or $500 a week, and then all of a sudden I go from making upwards of 20 grand, and all of a sudden I'm down to like $100, $150, dude, I know you're reproducing. That's when my attorney steps into place and says no to you guys. Okay, so you guys want my product? Like, I'm willing to teach you how to play. I'm willing to give demos online. Like, I want to make some money. Okay? So you can send your checks to 9330 59th Avenue, Southwest Lakewood, Washington, 98499 under the name Michael Dean Berry. MICHAEL DEANBERRY. Okay? And down at the memo, you're going to write AD Wars. And then you're going to write Christian mythology. Above that, you're going to write in your email address. You're going to cut me the check for however many boxes you want, and they're $150 a box. You get 18 full-length sheets, and they're wrapped in tinfoil of a special kind, and then you get those in your possession. You open it up, and you could have 5 pages that are the same thing, and 5 pages that are the same thing, and then 13 pages that are all different. It depends on what is all randomized. Like you may get 10 of the $50 card. Right there, you got $500 just in $50 cards. It's all randomly sorted. It's all in random order. These are limited. These are very limited for a very short period of time. Okay, this is a booster pack that is cut down. These things are $3 a pop. Okay, if you want, but I do not sell in small quantities. So if you want these, it's a minimum you order 10 at $3 a pop, and you give me $30, and sure I'll send 10 of them your way. Okay, I'm not worried about the nickels and dimes like that. I'm worried about the big chunks. So I'm not going to trip over the nickels and dimes to over the dollars and $5 bills to make nickels and dimes. I just want people to be happy. And happiness is about the Bible. That's what I want to promote with this game. So everybody that watched my YouTube video, this person, and she's fucked up and she's fucking over her. No, understand. I got Tourette syndrome, first of all. I got some severe disabilities. I'm very professional and I'm very fair. Like, if your package gets lost in the mail and you're legitimate about it, you can send me a reward letter and you're like, look, I'm on disabilities, like this, and you black everything out except the amount that you get Social Security Administration, and it's the authentic Social Security letter with your name, and then you take a picture of your ID with your name and everything, and take a picture of yourself. You get a picture of your name, picture of yourself, and picture of your ID, picture of yourself, and your award letter, and all three of it have to match up. And you say, look, this is the case. I got this product, and you shortchanged me a page. Okay, I know I didn't, but let's say that happened. I'd be like, oh, okay, hold on, let me send you another page. Okay, so I'm willing to chump out 1 to 2 pages for free, but if you're calling me up, if you're hitting me up saying, dude, I missed 10 pages, I'm gonna be like, there's no way, you're scamming. Okay, and then I'll hit you for fraud. Okay, but if you're doing everything on the up and up, and you're like really disabled, and you want a box, but you only get like $50 a month, I might be willing to work something out with you. You know what I'm saying? But don't be portraying you're on disability when you're making billions of dollars. Like, that don't fly. If you're legitimately on Social Security and you're explaining, like, my rent is this much, my utilities are this much, like, I only get this much, here's my award letter, here's my picture ID, and here's my face, and it all adds up, and I'll be like, okay, so what can you afford? I can afford max $90. Okay, how about 85? And you pay for the $5 for shipping, and you send me the money first, and then I send you your product. Okay, see what I'm saying? And I'm willing to work and negotiate out. It's not always going to be a static 150 for a box. If you're low on cash, like, I get it, I get low on cash. Like, I'm willing to give out of my heart, but it's going to be a tax write-off at the end of the year because the boxes are $150. And I'm shortchanging you, so I'll need you to sign a receipt or an affidavit stating how much I sold your box to you for. And that would be done, your check sent to me. I do not take credit cards, and I do not take cashier's checks or traveler's checks. I take a check from a banking account. That's what I take, and that's all I take. I don't take cash. I only take checks because those are paper trail. That's easier for me to do my taxes, and that's easier for me to go, hey, government, check this out. $100 for a business license because I just made 10 grand. And Social Security, guess what? I just made 10 grand. Or Social Security, I just made $1,000. Or whether I report my earnings and they cut my Social Security, but that's only $71. They can't touch my $683. So I'm reporting properly and I'm making money and everybody's happy. Everybody is making money. They're replenishing the money that they bought the products from, and they're making triple, quadruple, 10 times the amount that they paid into it, and everybody is happy because everybody's getting paid. Trust me on this idea. The Bible says, have a mustard seed of faith and God will come through. Have this mustard seed of faith in me and God comes through for us all. And all of a sudden, we're all making money, we're all doing good, and and who knows, I might host a Pro Tour qualifier, and then next to it, a Pro Tour, depending on how much product I sell and depending on how many people want to turn up for that, how many people want to show up for that. Okay? Decks are really simple, 52 cards. You can't run more than 3 copies of a card in your deck, and you can only run 16 characters. It must be exactly 16. And you can't run sins with turn of events. You can only run one or the other. And it's very simple. There's all 15 characters in the game, or solve 3 riddles, or meet a win conditions requirements like Seek Salvation. That you exhaust all your characters, and if you have 30 cards in your deck exactly, you win the game. It says right on the card. That's like a $10 card right there. I mean, because there's going to be future sets where it alters and it puts cards from your Book of Life into your burn zone. So that's like $10, and then the cards rank up in price. The future sets that come out, because then you'll have future cards that combo with the original, but everything is balanced because it's bracketed in tournament categories. Like you're allowed to play antique tournaments, casual tournaments. Yes, we have a casual format, and you're allowed to run 5 copies of every card in your deck in a casual format, and you're not allowed to run more than 4 copies of each, or 5 copies, but you're only allowed to run 20 characters total, and your deck is 100 cards, and you're competing for first, second, third place. Only placed down to 3 places, and the Pro Tour qualifier, and the Grand Prix and stuff. I only placed 3 places. Okay, out of 1,000 participants, I'm giving 3 prizes away. It's gonna be like 180 sheets, uncut, for 3rd place. 2nd place is gonna get like 300 sheets. 1st place is gonna get like 1,000 sheets, plus cash payout on top of it. Like, if I'm pulling in 26 grand, and I paid out, let's say, 10 grand for a convention center, and leaves 16 grand. 1st place gets 5 grand, 2nd place gets $1 grand. Okay, and that's fair, because you're getting all this product on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they're happy. They're like, whoa, 500 sheets of 18 cards. I just made over 20 grand in cards. And then they're selling them to their buddies left and right, and they're getting 20 grand. Plus, they got 5 grand for placing first, so they made 25 grand. And I only pulled in 26 grand, but guess what? I got prize payout for days for 1st, 2nd, 3rd. And then every place past that up to like 150th place gets a promo that is hand drawn by an artist. And send in some of your artwork to me. Marilyn Banko66 at gmail.com. MarilynBanko, B is in board, and K is in kilo, 66 at gmail.com. Just hit me up and say, like, I want a core rule booklet. Let me read this before I decide to buy. And I send me another message stating that you're not going to copyright infringe, that you're not going to reproduce the rules, that you're not going to create your own cards. And you send me all that information, and then I've got a track log. So then if I start seeing reproduction in this state and that state, which I will be having eyes and ears for every state on that, every country, and if I'm catching it, you're prosecuted and you owe me compensation pay. You get charged for fraud, reproducing the game, producing your own set, because it's an all rights reserved, which means I'm the only one that could create the sets. Until I get a team, then we're all creating the set. But that comes much later down the road. Okay? Right now, we got to get all off the ground and going, and let's see how I can do it business. If I do really successful, like, then reward me with more players playing the game. If you play it the first time and you're like, dude, this is a bullshit game, like, I'm going to say, okay, how can I change it up to make it a better game? And then you send me your version of rules, and I'm like, okay, this flies, this doesn't fly, this is where it's whacked out, and I test the game with your new rules thousands of times over again, and I'm like, okay, here's what does not belong, and we're allowing this original rule, but we're using all your other rules to alter the game. The static thing is the burn pile and the banish zone are the same exact zone. They're not a separate entity. They're the same exact zone. It's a sneak to the opponent's mind. Banish these cards and they're thinking, okay, RFG. They're not reading what you're trying to do, and then you're like, okay, check this out. Bing! God's anger. Now I'm gonna flashback racing thoughts, racing thoughts, racing thoughts. The flashback in the game is God's anger, and it doesn't just do one card like it does in Magic the Gathering. No, it reoccurs every card. So then you're hitting racing thoughts and you're hitting more God's angers and you're hitting more racing thoughts. So it doubles and triples and quadruples and it nails your deck to nothing. And every character, boom, right there in play. And you win the second that you combo off with that fucking deck. That deck, if you want to buy it directly off of me, I have a copy of it. It's going to cost you $600. End of story. Anyways, I have another deck that goes Noah who built the ark. It resolves on turn 3. 5 corruption markers, and when the last corruption markers are removed, you win the game. So you play it on turn 3, or sneak it into play on turn 1 or 2. Then you detis it, turning it right side up from sideways, and you go light casting. Bink burns all characters in play, and or all characters in land. The Noah who built the ark goes to burn pile. The counters are removed, so you win the game. Simple as that. And there's a stacking order. So if you got Name No Enforcer, Jacob the Unbanishable, and you got a Carrot of the Divine, you got to stack the order right, or else both Jacob the Unbanishable and Name No Enforcer goes into the discard pile. It is first in, first out, last in, last out. Which means it's all the picks on how you stack it. And you literally have to move the card here, move this card on top of it, move this card on top of it when you're stacking the order. That way it shows first in, first out, last in, last out. It's not a first in, last out, last in, first out, like it is in Magic. No, the stacking order is always the card that you put on top is the first card that happens. The second card is the second card and it goes like that. I make it very simplistic. But it gets the order wrong, and the opponent is able to prove his point, or her point, because it's not just his game. Females can play it too. Like, I bet you, I guarantee you, there's already pro-female players right now that could be pro at this game, where the men would not be even equipped to handle their deck with their own deck. Like, the women would beat them all the time with their Bible sitting right there of their religious faith. And it does not mean you write up your own Bible and go, look, it says right here, I win every game I play. No, it has to be a published Bible that is recognized by everyone and every religion. So you can say Wicca Bible, and then you're adding in all this new stuff into a Bible that you're calling Wicca Bible. First of all, that's copyright infringement upon the Bible. Second of all, it's considered cheating and lying and theft. Because you're trying to place first place and you wrote your own Bible and you got caught and you were trying to rip your opponent off for $5,000 and then you were trying to rip them off for 5,000 or 500 sheets that are uncut. So yeah, that is massive. Like, you will be disqualified and you will lose your sanctioning from tournaments if you get caught doing that crap. Doesn't matter. 10 sheets for first place. If there's only 6 participants, 10 sheets for first place. Like, I don't care. If you're cheating, like, you will get disqualified. The second you get caught cheating. This is a game of honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness that is motivated by God above and the gods on the earth and the devils and the angels and radio arcade. I mean, this is a game that gets pretty intense when it gets going. Okay, and you can sit around a table with 1,000 players, 500 players, 20 players, 2 players. You can even fish it yourself, and I've done that a lot of times. I don't got an extra player handy, so I just sit there and do my deck, and I learn more about it. And okay, this is how I can win quicker. So when I do face an opponent, like, I already know my 3 decks by heart. I know how to resolve the cards quick to get the win. Like, that's the way it is. And when I'm playing, I use a Wiccan Bible. I don't use a Christian, a pagan, a necromancer. No, I use a Christian Bible. I use a Wiccan Bible. And it harm none, do what you will. Because if you try that Name No Enforcer crap and you try burning my characters, I'm like, hey, it says right here. And it harm none, do what you will. Yeah, but that you used to do an outside lesson. What are you going to do now? Okay, and harm not of yourself, do what you will. And oh crap, that's right, double and a harm none rule. So, oh yeah, your character, the power of three shall set you free. It comes right back. Okay, so then you're able to debate it back and forth like that. So yes, Wiccans, pagans, I mean, it has something for everybody. It was aligned basically God versus Masons. Masons believe in every religion. God is Christian. Like, so everything that is anti-Christian is pagan. That's what Wiccans considered. That's what paganism's considered. Satanism, Santeria, shamanism, all of it's considered pagan, according to the Holy Bible. Tells you how much I study the Holy Bible. Anyways, uh, if you're like in a state of desperation and they're like burning your character, all of them in a turn, you flip it open into number 6 verses 6. If it strays from the Holy Spirit and goes toward the dead body, and then they're like, oh crap, and you save all your characters from being burned. Unless they can respond with, if they burn you once, warn them. If they do it again, destroy them. The Satanic commandment. So then the Satanic commandment overrides the Christian commandment, and their character attempt to get burned once. They announce that, so you go, oh, check this out. Second mortal commandment of the Church of Satan. If they burn you, warn them once. I already warned your character. Now I'm going to burn this, and if they do it again, destroy them. So your character is burned, and they got nothing. Like, and I can debate back and forth. Like, it's going 10 verses versus 10 verses. You got a question, call a judge, and you got piece of paper and pen handy. This is verse mentioned, this is verse mentioned, this is page. Then the judge has to take time out of their busy day to go, okay, let me read your Bibles. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, yep, you're right, you're wrong. This is how this all resolved. This person was right. Or they say, you were right, this person was wrong. Restatic the ability to show me how everything was stacked, and then you got to go through it all over again with your judge standing there. Okay, and if you stack it right and you got the verses and everything, then you win the argument. So you get the rule in your favor. It's the only card game like it. Thank you.